What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple Newtype, and in this episode, we finally made it, everyone. The ending to Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. Last time, Sarah went boom boom. The Argama crew also lost happily. This time, Operation Maelstrom is in full effect as the AU takes on both the Titans and Axis Zeon in this final showdown. So let's get into this. One thing I forgot to mention last time was the Bolanoke Saman. The PMX-002 Bolanoke Saman is a seek and destroy mobile suit. It is equipped with a pair of 3-tube rocket launchers, a shield which contains beam sabers, a grappling hook, and beam guns. It doesn't have too many armaments because of the surveillance units built into its head and forearms. Sarah was piloting this unit, not the Palace Athene. This is the third mobile suit created by Sirocco, which rounds out his collection of units. Camille goes out in the Zeta Gundam, but before going out, Shinta and Coom give off ominous vibes towards Camille. Catz is still being Catz, and he is trying to sortie without permission. He takes off in the G Defensor. Fa launches as well. Bright is losing control, but luckily he mentions they will be a diversion for Operation Maelstrom. Catz meets up with Camille. Tired of his shit, Camille points his beam rifle at Catz and tells him he will shoot him down if he doesn't follow orders and return to the ship. Fa and the Methus comes in and stops Camille from shooting his comrade. After the fall of the Gate of Zidane, Axis claimed the colony laser for themselves. They plan on using it on Granada, just as the Titans wanted to. The operation involves AU circling Axis, moving closer and closer in, until they can take control of the colony laser. Quattro and Emma launch. The operation begins. Lieutenant Body is now in command of the Rick Diaz team. I miss Happily. Haman is taking command now from the Guanban class ship. Remember last time, the Guadon was destroyed. The Guanban is smaller than the Guadon and the Guazine classes, but it still packs a powerful punch. It's like when the PlayStation releases their PS Slim line of consoles. It has 3 retractable megaparticle cannons and 6 single-barreled cannons and could carry and maintain up to 18 mobile suits. Haman notices her forces are spreading out too thin. Camille is getting impatient as he waits for Haman to come to the battlefield. Lieutenant Body and Quattro take out the electrical circuits on the colony. The colony laser can't be fired anymore. Bright tells Shinta and Coom that a maelstrom is a sort of whirlpool, which is what the AUG fleet is acting like. A giant whirlpool as they swallow the colony. Meanwhile, is Camille really just gonna wait around for Haman this whole episode? Luckily, Haman decides to finally sortie. Minawazabi goes to visit Haman. She doesn't want her to go out because she has a sick feeling in her stomach. It seems that she too is exhibiting Newtype potential. Haman recognizes this as well. She takes off with her squad. Catz is the first to run into her. He is hit, but Fa helps him out. Haman is able to sense Camille as he comes in and attacks. The physical fighting soon turns into a Newtype psychic battle. Everyone is able to sense it. Camille thinks of all the women in his life. He then senses his mother for the first time in a while. It seems that their thoughts are intermingling with one another. Camille says that we can actually understand each other with these powers, but Haman snaps them out of it. They begin fighting again in their mobile suits. Out of nowhere, Catz comes in and attacks the Quibbly. Haman tears through the G Defensor and the Methus. Camille says that Haman doesn't deserve to live anymore. He uses his anchor wire on the Quibbly and disables its left arm. He comes in and destroys the left arm with his beam saber. She retreats. The Methus and G Defensor are fine. The Zeta goes to help out the Argama. Axis has abandoned the colony laser and is now in the hands of the AU. But the Axis asteroid is still on course with Granada. Everyone regroups on the Argama. They make their way towards the moon, but for now, Camille plays with Shinta and Coom as he promised. The Minovsky particle density is too high, and they can't contact the Radish currently with their communication array. But the one on Axis might work. Camille comes in and says he should have ended Haman's life. In a we should watch out for this kid kind of way, Bright orders him to get some rest. Quattro says he is starting to act more like a soldier. He stumbles onto Fa. Camille tells Fa that he thinks he is starting to realize his purpose in life. He goes to get some rest. Back with the Titans, Rosamia is piloting the new Psycho Gundam with gates close by in the bound dock. The MXR-010 Psycho Gundam Mark II, like the original, is a giant mobile suit that can transform into a mobile fortress. It has improved firepower with reduced energy output. Oh man, I love efficient murder machines. Of course, this also is equipped with the Psychomo system. The cockpit is in the head like the original, but the Mark II head can detach and be used as an escape pod. This unit also has bits, but they aren't used for attacking. Rather, they are used for deflecting its own beam attacks, making this unit truly a beast. It has a series of beam cannons, a wired Psychomo beam sword, and a shield. This unit will play a bigger role in Double Z. It seemed that they convinced Rosamia that Gates is their brother, and that seemed to have calmed her down a little bit. Yazan is being rowdy on the bridge, and Bask tells him to wait in the hangar. The Argama gets close to Axis and boards the asteroid. They notice that the air isn't even stale yet, so they evacuated recently. They split up and look around. Torres goes to look for the communications array. On the outside, Bright is still trying to throw bombs on the asteroid to try to change its course. As this happens, the team is on the inside, where they could be affected. Kind of weird. Weird strategy, for sure. Rosamia and Camille start to sense one another. Camille wonders if it is 4 initially, while Rosamia goes looking for the Argama. Zeta goes out and launches as the Psycho Gundam comes rushing in. She sees the Zeta Gundam and starts freaking out and attacking. Camille realizes that it is Rosamia. The two engage in battle, but Psycho Gundam is too big and gets stuck. They both get out of their mobile suits and begin shooting at one another. He hears 4's thoughts inside of Rosamia. She falls through a decompressed area. She happened to fall right inside of Axis and stumbles onto Fa, but she doesn't remember her. Camille comes in and the two try to get her to remember each other. She runs out and looks for her real brother, Gates. They both run back to their mobile suits. The Psycho Gundam begins firing in all directions. Camille tries to stop Rosamia from attacking the Argama, but Camille is forced to shoot her down. He hears 4 in his head yelling out to shoot. He listens to the voice in his head and shoots. Rosamia is killed. Meanwhile, Siroko's forces come onto the battlefield. Rekoa is in the Palace of Thane and destroys the Dogos Gyar, killing Bask. While all this was going down, Taurus was on Axis and sent a message to Grips 2. He tells them to fire the laser at Axis. The laser hits the colony and luckily diverts the asteroid from hitting Granada. Camille thinks that neither new types nor cyber new types can really make a difference on the battlefield. The Argama makes its way back to Grips. The Radish and the Aeug fleet are being bombarded by both the Axis fleet and the Titans fleet. They must retreat. The Aeug ship, the Renee, is destroyed. Captain Hinken is getting worried and hopes that the Argama can make it back quickly. The Mark II, G-Defensor, and Zeta Gundam launch when suddenly, surprise Boundock! Surprise Jared! They begin battling. Catz and Emma stay close as they are attacked by Yazan's team. Catz helps Emma from Yazan. Camille is able to sense that Catz and Emma are struggling. He goes to help them. Emma and Catz dock to create the Super Gunman. Catz ejects in his pod, but he still wants to fight. Emma takes out one of Yazan's men. This frustrates Yazan. He goes after Catz, but he's able to dodge his attacks. Unfortunately, Catz wasn't able to dodge an asteroid right in front of him. As he crashes, Yazan fires on his ship. His ship flies out of control and runs into debris, killing Catz. Before dying, he was able to hear Sarah's voice. Catz lived life based off the decisions of his boner, and he died based off the decisions of his boner. I applaud his consistency. The Mark II is taking on Yazan alone. She is getting destroyed, but the Radish comes in and blocks the mobile suit. Captain Hinken is starting to think with his boner. Yazan goes in and destroys the Radish, killing Captain Hinken and his men. Camille and Jared continue fighting. Jared calls him a murderer, but Camille refuses to see it that way. He destroys Jared with relative ease. What are Jared's last words?
If it worked for you!
Quite hilarious. This scene actually plays out better in Japanese.
Camille!
Camille is witnessing everyone die around him, and he is starting to freak out. He once again fires out in anger. Camille goes to save Emma. She is in shock as well. They get her back to the Argama. The Guanban begins coming in and making their attack. Bright sends out the Mega Launcher for the Hyakushiki. Haman and the Axis fleet head out. Her fleet is getting picked off. It is Sirocco. As the two engage in battle, Quattro uses the Mega Launcher on both fleets. Sirocco comes in with the O and takes out his Mega Launcher. Yazan and Rekoa begin working together to try to destroy the Zeta Gundam. Rekoa in the Palace of Thane begins shooting at Camille, but Emma returns in a very beaten up Mark II. She can't fly and has to use a sub-flight system. She gets spicy with Rekoa.
I don't think anyone will shed a tear for you when you're gone.
They begin battling with their beam sabers. Zeta tries to stop the two, but he is too late. Emma tears through the Palace Athene. Emma and Camille go to the wrecked mobile suit when her remains are shot down. It is Yazan and his Ham Brabi. A force field surrounds the Zeta Gundam, protecting Camille from attacks. Remember, the Zeta Gundam has a quasi-Psychomu system installed, and it is unknown about its limitations of the device, so I imagine this is what is at play here. This also seems to be the advent of a future space ghost phenomenon that we'll see soon. Camille destroys the Ham Brabi, but Yazan is able to eject. Emma is badly injured. Camille brings her to the colony laser as the battle continues on. Camille holds Emma. She is barely hanging in there. She looks at Camille and reminds him that there are so many people that are always watching over him. As she says this, Emma dies in Camille's arms. Quattro is trying to prevent Sirocco from taking out the colony laser, but Haman in the Kubli is also chasing both of them. Sirocco is able to get a hit on Quattro when Haman comes in and double teams him. The Hyakushiki loses an arm and a leg as he runs off. The Argama is taking heavy damage. They are waiting for the colony laser to be able to fire once again. Within the colony, Quattro, Sirocco, and Haman have themselves a little bit of a Mexican standoff. Haman entices Quattro to come to serve the Zabi family. Camille finally barges in and helps Quattro. Then Fa comes in and helps Camille. As the shooting begins, the three take off. They are about to fire the laser and need to get out of there. Grips 2 is finally able to fire, but Bright notices Camille is still fighting in the danger zone. Haman's funnels are distracting Zeta Gundam, but Quattro and Fa pull Zeta out of the range of the laser. As he moves out of the way, Bright fires the colony laser. It destroys the majority of the Titans' fleet, including Captain Gaddy. The Titans have essentially lost this war. After the laser fired, Sirocco and Camille continue fighting while Quattro and Haman fight. He confines Haman to a tight area so she can't fire off her funnels. But little does he know that 2 funnels were already deployed and destroys Quattro's 2 remaining limbs. Haman goes in to kill Quattro, but he shoots a weak spot in the abandoned Magellan and shoots it with his Vulcans. The Kubli takes off and the ship explodes. Haman is upset that it has come to this, thinking that she just killed Shar. Back with the O and the Zeta, Camille begins talking to himself, and Sirocco was very confused. He is actually talking to everyone who has died in his life. Sarah is still trying to protect Sirocco, even as a dead Newtype ghost. Katz's ghost convinces Sarah to help Camille. All the Newtypes join with Camille, and they overclock his brain. Is this safe? Yeah, it's probably safe. Camille goes in and charges towards the O in his mobile armor form and crashes right into Sirocco. He is penetrated. Nice. Sirocco tries to self-destruct, but Fa comes in and saves Camille. Fa goes in and asks if Camille is okay.
'Cause comets move like soon.
Uh-oh, I think the Newtypes broke his brain. Fa takes what remains of Zeta and the Mark II back to the Argama as the remains of the Hyakushiki pass by. And that will conclude Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. If you watch the movies, they give Camille a happier ending and some of the white base crew a bigger role. If you have seen both the movies and the TV show, which ending do you prefer? Let me know in the comments. The AU was able to destroy the majority of the Titans during this final battle, but it also left the AU barely hanging on by a thread. Most of their best pilots are gone, leaving both the AU and Titans weak. This will allow Axis Zeon, who will soon change their name to Neo Zeon, to come in and take control of the Earth sphere. And that is exactly what we will see play out as we move on to Mobile Suit Gundam Double Z. This show will pick up directly after the events of this battle as we see the Argama dock for repairs and meet the boy from Shangri-La. But that will do it for now, Newtypes. Remember, make sure you know how many Newtype ghosts you could keep inside of you before you fry your brain. Peace.